Introducing Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So, what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right, family, we are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT in the house. We got a great show for you guys today, man. We got a lot to talk about on this Friday evening. In most cases, most people are on the east side of the states right now, or the east coast of the states, rather. But we got a lot to talk about in the travel space, man. It's been a lot of news going on in the last few weeks here and there about Colombia, things happening in Thailand. So we're going to discuss all that as well, even Africa. So we're going to discuss all these topics today or this evening on this show. So everybody, welcome to the show, man. I know it's been a minute. We just recently crossed over 30,000 subs. All right, hold on, let me find an applause for that. And guys, let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear too, as well, before we get the show really started. Let me see if I can find that applause. All right. All right, so we here, family. We are here. All right. Let's see what we got in the comment section. Like I said before, guys, make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. And let's get to it, man. We got to talk about a lot today. A lot of misinformation. Some good information out there about what's going on in Colombia. We're going to break it all down. Talk about source in Colombia. One of my fixtures out there that I've been on for the last 5 years. He was the one that pretty much showed me around Medellin and everything, and he's very much in the know about the happenings of Colombia. He does tours, he speaks Spanish fluently, and we had a long conversation about what's really going on in Colombia, in particular Medellin right now. So we're going to definitely discuss that. And we got my man, Average Man Unplugged in the building. What's good, bro? Says, what up, chat? I'm in Medellin right now. That was just a random search that's not happening every day. Otherwise, the immigration line would be long as 247 is already long as hell. It would be long 24/7. Yeah, that's true. I actually had a friend of mine who just went to Medellin a few days ago, and he passed through with no problem. So we're going to talk about it, man. Shout out to you, man, and safe travels to you in Medellin. All right, and shout out to my man, Average Man Unplugged. We did an interview /podcast. It was like 6-7 months ago. So shout out to my man, Average Man Unplugged. I got a Naughty American Expect. I appreciate you coming on the show, the live stream. I think it was earlier this month, dropping all those facts about Kenya. All right, we got our first super chat today. Up. Oh, what my love? The Colombian Defamation League is here. Shout out to my man, Jay Clyde. He's also a mod. Shout out to my man, Jay Clyde, Colombian representative. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. We in here, man. We got a lot to talk about today, bro. We got a lot to talk about. I haven't been alive in quite some time, so we got a lot of catching up to do. All right, let's get this out of the way. That's my bad. Hold on, let me switch that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now let me catch up some of these comments, and we're gonna get this show rolling, man. Flying to Joe Berg in December, getting on the prep next month. Flying with Zoe. Hey, check this out. I actually had a clip. I was going to originally name this show "The Price of Going Viral in 2025" on YouTube. I thought this was pretty much a better topic to talk about, but I am going to show a clip of a guy getting kind of handled and roughed up. I know he was in South Africa. I don't know if he was Johannesburg or not, but we definitely got to talk about the vloggers that will be walking around the hoods and everything, thinking that's going to blow their channel up in 2025. So we're going to talk about that too. All right, I got my first super chat of the stream. Shout out to Zeno X8X. He's also a member with $20 super chat. Says salute BMT. Man, appreciate you becoming a member. And I also appreciate that $20 super chat, my brother. All right, I'm headed to Thailand next Saturday. My suitcase is already packed. Kevin Johnson, 7572, man. He's also a member. Hey, hit me up on the email, blackmantravels@gmail.com. Blackmantravels@gmail.com, man. We can definitely link up. All right. Passport salvation. Turn it back on. Okay, hold on. All right, is my mic still low, guys? Hold on. Let me check make sure my mic is even on. Hold on. Yeah, the mic is on. Let me know if the mic is coming through a little bit better, family. Hit 1 if the microphone is coming up. I got the volume all the way up. All right, the naughty American expat with the 500 Kenyan shillings says, hold his Kenyan money for the building fund. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat. Oh, somebody says at this point you need prep in Thailand too. Okay, so funny story. I did a blood test maybe about a month ago. I think about a month ago. And, things in Thailand are a little bit more lenient than in the States. We know that, speaking medically about, certain things in the States is kind of like illegal, basically. But the doctor was telling me that, yeah, there's a large spike in HIV and all that stuff. He even told me the demographic that has it the most, and it ain't the brothers. All right. But, yeah, it's definitely out here. I think Thailand is like maybe in the top 5 for that. So, excuse me, you definitely want to keep that in mind as well. All right. When you travel out here in Thailand, strap up, fellas, strap up. All right, so a lot of little mixed babies running around Pattaya for you brothers out there. Speaking of Pattaya, before I get to the show, man, I want to say rest in peace, this brother. This has been pretty much the top news as of lately in Pattaya. A very unfortunate event here. Hold on, I just want to put this up. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so. Yeah, this brother right here, rest in peace to him. I believe his name was Larry. He recently passed away out there at John TM on a motorbike. Like I said, this is kind of like main news for me to show a few pictures. Unfortunately, family, this brother, it was reports that he was speeding around a curve. He had a young lady, a Thai woman on the back, and he hit the curve, ejected, and basically killed both of them. Both of them died. It was pretty bad accident. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to, I don't want to be too graphic, but I will show a few photos. So I want to show that photo. Very, very unfortunately, guys, really be careful driving out here in Thailand. You got to really be careful with that shit. Hold on, let me show just a little bit, just kind of wake you guys up a little bit. I know it's pretty common thing for guys to, rent a motorbike. It's not as stringent. You can just, show your passport, get the bike. Most people ride scooters, and I will say I do believe this guy was a rider, so he was very familiar with the bikes. A lot of locals were saying that, the curves out here can be a little bit, it's more dangerous than you would think, and you're speeding. I mean, it was an open highway. It was no traffic. It was like 7 a.m, and the guy just hit the curve, going around the curve, basically, hit the curb basically and flew off and ejected. Let me see if I can show this photo. So, his name is Larry Bermudez. All right, he was about 40 years old, and it's just unfortunate, man. Hold on, I'm gonna just show a few photos. I thought I had it loaded up. Hold on. All right, let me pull this up on the screen. Yeah, it's sad. That's the phone I actually didn't know. But let me just, I do want you guys to see the bike. All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull this photo up real quick. All right. But once again, excuse me, be careful and ride these bikes. And you really have to be. I was talking to my man Travel Varsity. You really got to be a defensive driver out here, man. And really overseas in general, I think they drive the worst. Probably in the DR and Thailand. Maybe not so much Colombia, because Colombia and Medellin got so many curves and everything like that. The traffic cops are pretty much everywhere in Medellin. But here in Thailand, man, I mean, a stop sign and a red light is just a suggestion. Let me just put it that way. So you got to always be aware. Not that happened in this situation, but people pull out all the time. You know, we don't know the full story. Maybe somebody pulled out, but I believe from an eyewitness, they say that he was drinking, he was speeding, and he hit the curve. Like I said, it's very unfortunate. It's kind of like the talk of the town right now. Yeah, it was on Pattaya News. Yeah, he was only 40. This is the brother. Rest in peace to him and the young lady, actually, that lost her life out here in Pattaya, Jalatina. All right, and let me just go to show you, like even here, I was riding. Me and my girl was riding, and I can just show you. This is we're in Cologne, and it's just how quickly it can go. Now I wasn't speeding, I wasn't driving that fast, but as you can see, they stop right here. And they pull out right in front. Just like that. Well, that happens a lot out here. A lot of accidents from the foreigners. All right. They probably were rushing or something like that. As you see, they just pull right in front of me. If I would have been speeding, I would have probably hit them. Just keep that in mind. But rest in peace to that brother, man. Like I said, he was only 40 years old. He and the Thai woman, his Thai girlfriend, both passed away. Like I said, there was reports that he was speeding. There are also some reports allegedly that he might have been drinking as well. All right, and it was a pretty horrific accident, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. So rest in peace to them. All right. Okay, so you guys say my mic is coming through loud and clear. Okay, cool. We good. All right. Yeah, Iman. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, and that's another thing, real quick. Now, I don't know the alleged whole situation. It was alleged that he might have been drinking. People saw them drinking. I don't want to put that on it because we're not really quite sure. That's what somebody said in one of the posts. It was actually a brother that actually witnessed the accident, and he's the one that took a lot of the photo. The first initial photo, it was really graphic, and he was just saying that the bike was super fast. He took the curve too fast, and that people were walking up saying that, hey, he was drinking a little further back. Because if you don't know about Thailand, they will, this culture talks. You know what I'm saying? They would definitely talk. They would definitely say what they saw. So it was alleged. But if you are drinking and you are on a bike, remember a bike is all about balance. So even just a few drinks on a bike can inebriate you. We see it all the time here in Pattaya. Guys are dying, killing themselves, running into curves, park bikes, flying. I mean, it's a lot of accidents and a lot of deaths. Also, the doctor mentioned to me when I was in the clinic taking my blood test, he also mentioned that he has to tell how much for people. He said he got to tell about 20 people a week that they're positive for HIV. It was an alarming stat. It might have been like 20 or like 30. It was around there. So just keep that in mind when you come to the Lands of Smiles, man. Strap up, be safe. Okay. Be safe out there, man. All right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. All right, so I want to play this real quick. I want to just push up before we get to Colombia. I want to play this real quick. Hold on. I want to play this clip.
Yeah. What?
All right, I want to play this clip right here, man. Now, I know, a lot of guys are, moving hard on the YouTube. I know the thing is right now, if you look at the bigger channels, you will see them walking around. In a lot of cases, they'll be walking around different hoods. That's a big thing right now on YouTube. They'll walk around. Some of them may walk around with a hidden camera or the camera very low. All right. Some of them might just have their camera just out, and they walk around these neighborhoods and stuff like that. I don't know if his intention is to go viral, but let me just play the video and let you guys let me know your thoughts on this.
What's good? Taking camera, what's good? Is the camera? Yeah.
So he's in South Africa. I'm not sure if he's Johannesburg or not, but he's in South Africa.
What?
What are you doing inside here? Yeah, what are you doing?
What?
Oh.
He tried to take off, but they stopped him.
While my eyes is burning.
The pepper spray.
Yes.
It's just like right there, like, boom. Next thing you know, all hell break loose. It was everybody against me out there.
All right. So listen, I know some brothers might think that, you're in Africa and, we all black and, I don't know if this is a conscious brother or a Pan-Africanist brother or anything like that. But you walk in these areas, man, keep in mind, I believe I forgot what country it was, but it was a brother just last year that died and was killed from doing this. I know it was somewhere in South America. I'm not going to put it on Colombia. I believe it was Colombia, but it was a brother with some cameras that was walking around and they basically killed him. Okay. Also, when I first went to Hosina out there in Rio de Janeiro, there was a German tourist that came with some cameras in the favela, and they ended up killing him. He ran, right? When somebody was trying to ask him, what is he filming? Unfortunately, he ran, and they got to him, and they killed him. When they were trying to question him and say, hey, man, basically in this favela, this is more of a commercial favela in Hosina, but it still goes down. So you can only record certain areas, all right? Of course, with your fixer, with your guy who's a local within the favela, and they'll always tell you, "Hey, put the cameras up." So just be careful, man. The world is, still on some street shit to a certain degree. And this young man got lucky, in my opinion. He got lucky. Like I said, the cost of going viral, he has a very small channel, maybe like a couple of hundred, maybe 200-300. You can still break on YouTube. The biggest thing about YouTube, and then don't get me wrong, I've only had a few viewers to go viral myself, but the biggest thing is consistency on YouTube. That's the biggest thing. Hitting that algorithm, same time, daily if you can, weekly, a couple times a week if you vlogging, and build your audience up from the scratch. Most guys with over 100K. Keep in mind, it's not even a lot of channels. Matter of fact, let me put this stat up. I want to show this stat. Excuse me. Supposed to put a camera in your belt. I want to show this. Let me show this stat real quick. Now, you guys can look these stats up. Let me move this real quick. All right, you got 120 million total YouTube channels. All right, this is an amazing stat right here. This is why even if you got a small audience, you're doing something. Once you start crossing over the 5 to 10K, you really are building up your community. I look at it almost like a mega church. Me personally, like it's a lot. You might not think it's a lot, but it's a lot. So 10,000 subs, that's 2.5%. Approximately 3 million channels out of 120 million total YouTube channels have 10,000 or more. Then you got 20,000. That percentage is even lower at 1.6%. All right. That's 1.9 million channels, basically. Now you got 30,000. This is why I just reached 30,000. All right. 0.9%, with 1.8 million YouTube channels with 30,000, right? And the 100K gets even less, 0.38%, 456,000 channels. All right. So yeah, this is a wild stat. That's why I say, hey man, you know, even the small channels is rare. And you're in a niche. You're in a little niche. You know, you've created a travel niche. And if you just stay consistent and put out good content, I mean, you ain't necessarily have to walk around, you know, hoods. In a lot of them cases, man, you would be surprised that some of the bigger YouTubers actually be walking with low-key security, or they've already mapped out. They've already mapped it out, meaning they've already talked to the locals or the people that's going to be on that street and say, oh, you know, the head honchos. And they say, hey, man, I'm a vlogger. Here goes some bread. I'm just going to walk through. You know, if there's anything you don't want me to do or say or look at, turn away, let me know. You know, that goes on too with some of the bigger YouTubers, because I've actually seen that. I'm like, damn, you know, I've met YouTubers. I'm not going to say their names, but I'd be like, oh, I thought you was just walking through. He's like, nah, hell nah, man. These is dangerous neighborhoods. I got to pay who I got to pay to be able to walk down this little street. You know, people want to see the surroundings and everything. So keep that in mind as well, guys. Just be safe. Don't get, you know, beat up trying to get content, you know, trying to go viral. You know, YouTube is still a great space. There's still money in YouTube, despite all the TikToks and everything like that. It's shorter content. There's still money in long-term content. It might take more of a strategy these days to get your channel, you know, upwards of, I would say, but when you start hitting around 10K or better, you know, you've built a pretty significant audience. You know, you don't have to compare your channel to other bigger channels, because especially if you're growing organically, and, you know, people do buy subs. You do have that as well, you know, out there in the space. So just keep that in mind, man. But like I said before, man, shout out to all my YouTubers. It's a wild game, but you still can definitely build your community. Let me put the comments back on the screen. What up, Ray Hunter Force? The world started showering Americans anyway with the army. Hey, you know, we're going to talk about that. We're going to definitely talk about that. We're going to definitely talk about that in this show, man. Yes, the world is starting to listen. That's like a popular topic. And it kind of sucks, because if you are out of the country, you want to kind of ignore American politics to a certain degree. But sometimes that's the first thing that people say from other countries. They talk about Trump. You know, I've been getting tired of hearing about the dude. You got to hear about this dude every day. And you in Thailand, 10,000 miles away, and then you meet a European or a Russian or somebody, and they be like, hey, you're president this, you're president that. You just be like, come on, man, you know. Shout out my man Brandon Clark says only 3% got 10,000 subs. Wow, that's a wild stat. Yeah, shout out my man Andre from Love Crossing Board, because he presented this stat as well. So shout out my man Andre Love Crossing Board, because he was the first to tell me this stat, and I just happened to just look it up and look at some analytics online, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's 100% correct. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Somebody said you can buy subs. Yeah, you got some guys that definitely have bought some subs. I know one particular YouTuber. He's a clown. You know, he's a real weirdo. But he bought his subs. I think he went from like 8,000 subs to like 100,000, and he was getting like very little views. So it was kind of obvious that he had bought the subs, and he hit 100K. And he was, you know, bragging about hitting 100K, and he was saying that he was about to get his plaque, his channel plaque. But right before he got it, well, I think as soon as he got his plaque, they found out that he made, you know, used bots, and they got his channel taken down, took his channel down. All right. So let me go to, you know what? Let me hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. We're gonna get to this. We got 117 room guys. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. We're gonna get to the Colombia subject in a minute, but I want to play this video real quick before I do. Hold on. I want to play this video. Shout out to Phil for the Field Advised show. Hold on, let me move this. I want to play this. Let me play this video.
And themselves, some of these.
All right. Now this is a very shout out to Field Advised, man. I kind of want to speak on this very briefly before we get to the Colombian segment. There are a lot of sisters out here now, specifically in Pattaya. There's a lot in Bangkok, but specifically in Pattaya. And I was kind of shocked. Me and some of the other, YouTubers, other guys, we always kind of hit each other like, damn, it's a lot. But this week, this was one of the first week where I actually saw more sisters than brothers out here in Pattaya, just in my, go around, around the city, going to the store, just moving around, everything like that. I'm not saying that they deep in, walking through the 808 or anything like that, but, just going around this week, I was like, oh, wow, I'm starting to see more sisters than brothers, right? And, they give you, sometimes they give you a heads up, sometimes they speak, sometimes they're very polite, sometimes they ignore you. There's a large stud community forming in Pattaya as well. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that. But I was a little shocked. And we would like to have the idea of keeping certain spaces to ourselves, but the reality is, sisters be having their shit together too. They want to escape inflation too. The issue is when they come out here, if they are single, because some women are coming out here, married, and I do believe that's a good thing in my opinion. I believe, living overseas as a married couple can almost save your relationship because you pull yourself away or take yourself away from that community of, bullshit basically that we come from. But you do have sisters out here that are single, and I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've just recently experienced it. They see brothers with a Thai woman, and there's a lot of mixed relationships here in Pattaya. That's the new thing now. Like, there's a ton of, sisters with, old white guys and shit like that out here too. Most of them are going to be African sisters. But, you got some American sisters that, are dating, the old white guys too. Shout out to the white bros. But, yeah, they see you. When they see you with a Thai woman. As a matter of fact, the main YouTuber that's bringing a lot of these women out here with his videos, I'm not going to say his name. I just ran into him. Shout out to him, though. He's with a Thai woman, too. You know what I'm saying? But he'll never show it on his channel. But, they see you. And even when I was in the mall, with my girl and everything, and it was two sisters, and they just kind of just looked at me and just did the whole, you know what I'm saying? You're like, did the whole thing right there. So let me play this clip by Phil Advice. Let me play this clip.
Check that out.
Let me tell y'all, I be seeing my brothers out here getting themselves some of these Thai girls, honey. Well, they all out here getting the Thai girls. But you could tell it's lopsided. And what I mean by lopsided, you could tell those girls be too pretty for the men that they be with.
The girls be too pretty for the men that they be with. Okay.
Black or white. I be looking like, girl, what you doing on? But I get it though, But you do see beautiful couples here too. But I be looking like y'all came all the way out here to get yourself a Thai girl, which is fine because the Thai girls are beautiful. But it just be looking so weird because some of these girls be so beautiful and the guys be like monsters.
All right, so you see the manipulation tactics. Like I said before, man, war generals, 4-star generals, should be looking at the manipulation tactics by women, bro. She's uncomfortable with that. She's uncomfortable with seeing that because either she wants to date interracially and has not had success, or she wants the brothers herself because most sisters be wanting to date brothers out here.
Like they be looking like straight Fat Albert and Freddy Krueger mixed together, and they be having this supermodel looking Thai girl. I'd be like, girl, ain't that much money in the world. But maybe it is. Maybe it's true love. I ain't here to judge. And if it wasn't true love, maybe it developed into true love. They say you learn to love people. Maybe some of the American men come out here and treat these women good, but it ain't even just Americans. The white guys, there's Australians, Russians, people from Singapore, you know, Canadians. They all be having their type girls. All of them. When the brothers see me, they be looking at me like I'm gonna judge them. Like, I be like, I see you, brother. Do your thing. Tell you something. You gonna miss us, okay? If you used to date black women.
All right. So yeah, you have a lot of that out here. I don't even know what to say about that. You guys can, I don't know. You know, sometimes I'd be happy to run into sisters out here. We have great conversations and everything, but that it always comes up who you with, who you out here with, and you say, hey, you know, or I'm with somebody, you know, I got a girlfriend, I got a wife or whatnot. And first thing, is she Thai? And you'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, oh, okay. You know, you just be like, you know, because you want to be friendly. You know, you want to be friendly. There are even single moms out here, bro. Like it is crazy out here right now. I have no idea. But Pattaya is changing, bro. You got Colombian women out here now, single moms from America out here now, from the UK out here now. Pattaya is really changing. The dynamics, demographics of Pattaya is really changing. Let me play another video real quick, and we're gonna get to the subject at hand in a moment. I'm just waiting for more people to come in the room. Hold on, let me play
Number one, it's mad rats. I've seen more.
All right, so this is another one right here. All right, and like I said, I'm not speaking down on the sisters at all. You know, shout out to the sisters and everything like that. But there is a little stud community forming out here as well. Why they would choose Pattaya, I'm not sure. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's see what she has to say.
So I've been in Pattaya for the last 2 days. Not my cup of tea. Number one, it's mad rats. I've seen more rats in Pattaya than I've seen my entire 3 months in Thailand. Not jacking it. Number two.
I have not seen a rat since I've been in Thailand almost. I think it was 1 year the first go around, about a year this time. I've never seen a rat. Although I do have friends that say they saw rats and stuff like that. I haven't personally seen no rats.
I see way too many seniors in high school with senior citizens. Canceled. Number three, the woman of the night will start grabbing on your clothes all crazy. I respect what you do. Get your money, but I'm nervous. Don't do that. Not jacking it so far. But like I said, I only been here for 2 days, so we're going to see what the rest of it is about. So I've been in Pattaya for the last 2 days.
All right.
Not my cup of tea. Number one, it's mad rats. I've seen more rats in Pattaya than I've seen my entire 3 months in Thailand. Not jacking it. Number two.
All right.
So I've been in Pattaya.
Oh, let me stop there. Morgan out a little bit. You still playing? All right. Why still playing? Let me remove this. Hold on. So yeah, that's what's been going on right now. They throwing parties, they having parties, everything like that. Like I said before, man, I'm not really, down them or anything. I get it. There's some very nice quality sisters out here as well, traveling. I think when it comes to the dating aspect of it, they're a little frustrated, and their frustration leads to TikTok videos, and they go straight for the manipulation tactics to act like you're doing something wrong. When in reality, they would like to do the same thing. All right. Yeah, they out here actually kind of heavy than you think. It's a community out here for sure. Like I say, I'm not going to be talked bad. I ain't going to run to them, and they're going to be throwing beefs at me or anything like that. But yeah, they are definitely out here. They are definitely out here, 100%. But shout out to Philip Vibes for the clip, though. All right, let me play this before we get to the Colombian video. I want to play one more video. Now we're moving on to Colombia. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. All right. So now we know in Colombia that there's a lot of druggings, especially in Medellin. Okay, there's a lot of druggings and all that stuff. But now they're taking it up a notch. They're taking it up a full notch. Now, this has been going on for some time, so this is nothing new. But you had a German tourist that was actually kidnapped and drugged. Apparently, he met some women. I believe it was in Parker Yaris. He met a couple of women in Parker Yaris. Same scenario we hear many times. You know, they led him back to a location. And why would you go back to their location? I do not know. Some people have no street smarts whatsoever. They get back to the location. There's some guys waiting on them. They start extorting them, calling his family, telling them to send money and all that stuff right here. Fortunately, the police found a location somehow, some way they found a location. I believe one of the family members sent some money and then possibly called the police. But this is the end result. Watch this clip right here. Those are the police right there. They came in there heavy because it was about 4 of them. I believe it was 2 girls and 3 guys that did the kidnapping. All right. All right, so that's the German. No, I don't know who that is. That might be one of the young ladies, actually. Yeah, they did like they was undercover with it. Let me read this comment by Final Form. Black women are only moving to Thailand because big brothers moved there. Black women are not moving to places where language barriers step the game up. Black men, you'll be surprised, bro. Sisters in Colombia too. Listen, the passport sis movement is real. You might be in denial, but you come out here, you're gonna see some dynamics change. Somebody said absolutely no trigger discipline. What's the term that my dad used to say? What's the term? Damn it. I forgot the term. It's not trigger discipline. It's basically when you point your gun at a friendly. You know, you point your gun at another officer and everything, not paying attention. I forgot the term for it though. You know.
But you're not welcome anymore. Things have changed.
All right, so let's get to the subject at hand. Matter of fact, let me play this clip real quick, show this picture real quick first. I'm going to read this picture. This was posted a few days ago in the Medellin expats group. Warning, do not travel to Medellin for at least 2 more months. I flew to Medellin on Wednesday, October 8th. Me, and along with hundreds of others, were refused entry and sent back to the U.S. Everybody was confused as to why. They ransacked my suitcase, probably looking for drugs, but of course found nothing. I asked over and over what I had done wrong. Finally, after about 2 hours, an English-speaking woman came in and said, we found 4 pornographic photos on your phone. All right. I asked her to show me the photos, which she refused to do. Turns out there were pics of an old girlfriend sunbathing without a top on. They told me I had 15 minutes to pack my suitcase and get on the next flight back to Miami. If I missed the flight, I would have to stay in modified jail for a week until they could put me on another flight. Today, when I started organizing everything and unpacking, I realized they had stolen 3 of my credit cards. Don't miss that part. Don't miss that part. I realized that they had stolen 3 of my credit cards. They said I could come back in 2 months. One of the nice cops who escorted me to, let me move these comments out of the way, hold on. Escorted me to my plane back to Miami said this was happening because of problems with both of our presidents. All right. I've been going to Medellin since COVID ended. I've always had a great experience, but now I'm wondering, hold on. Let me move this out of the way. I'm wondering if I ever want to go back. Very sad. Be careful. Now, I spoke to my guy. Shout out to my guy, DJ J. Jones. He's very familiar. You know, he's been out there probably about 6-7 years. I said 5 years before, but probably 6-7 years. We had a long conversation over the phone about what's really going on out there. He said they are not banning. I showed him the video, sent him the video. She said, the lady, in fact, we put the video right here.
About 2 to 3 weeks ago.
He said this video was all cap, but he spoke about this particular incident that I just read about the 60-some guys coming in and being denied entry. Some of the things also being stolen out of their bags. So this wasn't him. Immigration was taking, little things. I believe they took somebody's headphones out their bag. So basically he was basically saying that, hey man, this is really more so due to what's going on between Trump and the current president. Okay, but let's see what this woman has to say. Let's see what she has to say. And shout out to Skylar. He just did a video about this. He just dropped a video about this as well.
Passportbros flying into Medellin, Colombia, you're not welcome anymore. Things have changed. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, immigration has started a new process. If you are a single male, non-Colombian, flying into Medellin, they're going to take your phone and they're going to look at your Tinder, your WhatsApp messages, all of your messaging apps. Photos, videos, reading your messages, translating them. So if you're coming here looking for young girls and participating in sex tourism, you can and will be sent back to your country of origin. This started about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and the whole country has collectively been working together to try and stop this type of tourism. They don't want passport bros here.
False. Very false.
Like in every single Airbnb, I'm renting this apartment for 5 weeks. I cannot have any guests here because they don't want sex tourism in Colombia anymore, period. So
that's more so for they don't want guys getting drugged and robbed, basically. They've been doing that since I've been going to Colombia.
If you're flying into Medellin, passport bros, be prepared to be deported.
All right. So there's a lot of comments under her. I mean, like I said, she's full of it. She's one of those women that are pretty much envious of the guys being able to date beautiful women. A lot of women want to keep the same options that they have in the States overseas, and they want to date primarily American guys for the most part. And she's seeing that the American guys are dating more so the Colombian women. And this is her manipulation, tactic that they all put on TikTok. Nobody's banning passport bros. I've had many guys to go to Colombia without any issues. Still, if they did this consistently, their line will be around the corner. It's not logistically possible to check everyone's phone coming in. Okay, this is more so due because of the beef between the presidents. And let me go ahead and play another video.
This statement saying that there
is
is
really going on. All right, this is what's really going on. Here we go.
Reporter Willie James Inman joining us now. So, Willie, the Treasury Department just announcing sanctions on the Colombian president. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Jules. The Treasury Department releasing this statement saying that they are sanctioning the Colombian president, Gustavo Petro, his wife, his son, and associate. In large part, this would mean that they would not have access to any U.S.-based assets, that any U.S.-based persons would not be able to interact with them, at least on a financial basis. Certainly, this is an escalation on top of that military buildup there in international waters, responding to what the Trump administration calls basically a war against drug cartels. We have seen strike after strike targeting those boats of alleged drug runners. And now over the weekend, the Colombian president accused the U.S. of murder, accusing them of murdering a fisherman who was not, the Colombian president says, a drug runner or anybody involved in a drug cartel. So certainly this is an escalation of events with the U.S. announcing their they're sanctioning the Colombian president. I'll point out a statement coming from the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent that says President Petro has allowed drug cartels to flourish and refused to stop this activity. And then he goes on to say today President Trump is taking strong action to protect our nation and make clear that we will not tolerate the trafficking of drugs into our nation. Part of that statement coming from the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent there as we get word of this news.
Somebody said a war against fishermen. There are reports that those are not drug vessels, bro. You even have a general that stepped down. So it's a lot going on. You got the Colombian president Petro saying that these are just fishermen. You got Trump saying one thing. Trump calling him a drug dealer, that he won't stop the cartels. He's sending drugs to the states. They've cut all aid to Colombia.
News of the U.S. government sanctioning the Colombian.
All right, so I see you guys going back and forth about Trump in the section. Listen, I don't want to get too far into the politics of things here, man. We don't do politics too much, at least on this channel. But I just want to show you the aftermath, all right, of some of these things going on as far as, their relationship with Americans going to Colombia. Now, of course, they know Colombia tourism is pretty heavy, especially in Medellin. But some of these things that are happening politically could be affecting stuff that happens in immigration. So it's not necessarily they have a ban on passport bros or anything like that. They've been trying to clean up Colombia for quite some time. They have this watch list and everything like that. But keep in mind, if you're just going out there, the likelihood of them checking your phone percentage is pretty low. But if you do, maybe not have a whole bunch of, flicks on your phone as you're walking through immigration. Like I said about any airport around the world. All right. They do that when you come back into the United States as well. Keep that in mind. So it might be a tick for tack. They might be doing this, because they've been doing that. Like I said, you go back to the U.S., they're checking your phone. I've never had that situation before. My phone is my phone. I just be like, hey, man, fuck it. It is what it is. Me personally. But, yeah, that's basically it. I hear you, CC92. All right. So people on social media, I just started coming up. Okay, here we go. People on social media will always leave anything negative over doing the research and trying to find what's really going on. That's absolutely correct. All right. Kane, the nomad, Kane the chopper. DR got ruined. Passportbros technically becoming the equivalent of BLM, but I ain't saying it. I want to say it has anything to do with BLM. There are a lot of, Passportbros are different ethnic groups. All right, you got BTM Mike Jones 214. So that is with Cartagena and Medellin. Did you have any issues? Let me know if you had any issues or you went through good. All right. Let me know. Matter of fact, let me know in the comment section if guys are rolling through without any issues. Okay. Say I think you went through good. Shout out my man Giamo in the building. I think Colombia will be all right for Passportbros. U.S. just wants Gustavo Petro out the paint for real. All right. Yeah, our president's super petty, man. As a matter of fact, it even goes deeper because from what I've been told, is the fact that Colombia is really the relationship they have with Venezuela. That's standing in the way of a lot of things that they're trying to get from Venezuela, basically, the embargo they had on Venezuela. So not to get too political, but yeah, it's some other stuff going on. We know at the end of the day, it's all about power and money and stuff like that as well. All right, so we got Q. What it do? What up, Q? What it do? What's good? What's good, brother? Haven't seen you in a while. Says, where do BMT? I'm in Medellin right now. I've been there for 3 weeks. Haven't experienced any of the rumors personally. All right, good. Somebody said Trump just put sanctions on Colombia. Yeah. It's an underlying thing with. I mean, we come on, man. We come from the matrix. We know it's a hidden agenda. We know Venezuela's sitting on all that damn oil. You know what I'm saying? We know every time Republicans get in office, they start a war. You know, to a certain degree. You know, let's talk about that. We don't get too deep in politics. I don't want people in the chat talking about Republican, Democrats, liberals, and conservatives. But yeah, we know usually Republicans do over 4 years as the war being started. Somebody said Trump wants a regime change in Venezuela. It's all about the oil. A lot of people are saying that. Somebody said in days we trust. Salute. All right, man. I got a man Kirby Films between our super chat. He's also a member, man. I really appreciate that. What's a big team gentleman travel? What's up, BMT? Gentlemen travel safely. I don't care what they do, always trying to make it negative. The folks been doing all kinds of crazy stuff in Colombia, and no one said nothing. All right. You know what's interesting? I was out there. This was like 2021 with one of my guys out there who is let's just say like a ops type of guy, Navy SEAL. I forgot if he's a Ranger. It's something like that. He does training for the the police out there, the special police they have out there in Medellin. And what you just saw, I believe, that video clip I just showed earlier, this one right here, these might be the so-called special police, basically. All right. In some cases, you gotta pay these guys. But he was telling me, he was like, yeah, the U.S. sends a lot of aid, and they send a lot of military personnel to do training out there as well. So Colombia and the U.S. definitely have somewhat of a working relationship. So that might not be just the regular police or anything like that. That might have been something that the family might have paid for. Now, this same exact thing happened with the friend I was just mentioning. Let's just call him Ops. Somebody had stole his iPhone, and he contacted the special police out there, and they did the exact same thing looking for his iPhone. He said that the police roughed the guys up so much, he was like, listen, F it. Don't worry about the phone. You know what I'm saying? So, it's some other stuff going on out there in Colombia, man. Like I said, you can pay to your weight out there in Colombia for sure. Somebody said, at least you know how to move in the streets. I never seen or heard you throwing money at these ninjas and the familiar cats. Yeah, it's a lot. It is definitely a lot going on, man. Well, all right, family, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, man. It's a quick show. We did a quick show today. Somebody said, come to Medellin Thursday, 0 issues. Yeah, we know it's not sustainable for them to be checking everybody's phone. I believe that might have been a pushback. And like I said before, if you read the message, there were a report of them turning down damn near a whole entire airplane. But that's not going to be the standard. I've had friends go to Colombia just this week with no issues. All right. And guys, once again, make sure to download the Passportbros app. Let me put your place before we go. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up on the screen. All right, we've had a lot of updates recently in the Passportbros app. All right. We got a whole entire resource there that we've been working on now. Like I said, this is a post right here. This is a recommendation. This is, like I said, I've been to Rio. I never even heard of this area, Chinatown, Tijuca, in Rio. But this is like a recommendation post, basically. And guys traveling all over the world, pretty much telling where to go. Every time I run into guys that maybe not be so familiar with the travel space or just not traveling, really don't know exactly where to go. When it comes to foreign countries, I've seen guys go to Rio, go to Copacabana, go to a hotel room, go to Math, go to Copacabana, go to hotel room, that whole circle. So it's very important to know exactly where to go. And recommendations, nothing like recommendations, all right? And when people recommend something, some community guys, even myself, will shoot that guy a tip, okay? That's just one of the features that we have in the app. A lot of great content as well, a lot of good information. All right, a lot of guys posting from all over the world. These guys that are legitimately traveling all over the world, as you can see, you know, all throughout Jordan. Okay. That's it. For we got also pull this up real rudder. Tour guides, local fixtures, and we're filling this out. This is updated daily. PB hotspots, online jobs, a recent list of online jobs as well. All right. So make sure to download the Passport Bros app, guys. All right. We out of here, man. Great show. Appreciate all the support. Peace.